everybody, it's Brittany, and today we're not having too bad of a hair day, especially since I haven't brushed it. Don't you love that? Anyways, so today I am actually doing these. So it has been brought to my attention that these are backward. What? Okay. They're magnetic. I did not know that. Oh my goodness. That is so... I didn't know that yet, but yeah, it was, yeah, the other day, I guess it's supposed to be kind of like, you know how they had Freddy vs. Jason, the movie, which wasn't that great of a movie, but I mean, it was okay. But I guess like it's supposed to be like, because they were in a movie together, that you get them magnetic. That is so neat. Anyways, so I'm actually seeing how I was going to swatch them both together anyway, but seeing how they're, you know, magnetic, I'm going to now. So what I was going to say is it's been brought to my attention that this side opens like, this opens the right way and then this opens backwards, but now that I see that they go together and they magnetize together, that, you know, it's supposed to be like that. Alright, so I'm going to be swatching these, and I'm actually going to do two different eye looks, kind of like the other day when I did when I was playing with the Too Faced palettes, but I'm going to go in and do two separate eyes with these. Alright, so let me get this packaging out. So in case you didn't see the unboxing, the way that these are made, this is what well, I should say, this is the inside of it, and then this is like this really cute mirror in here, which has like his hands popping out. Well, not his hands, his knife hands popping out. And then it says Elm Street up here. So this is the Freddy Krueger version. And then this one is the Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th one. And it too has like, it's a smaller palette and it's got like these little details on the inside. And then this one says, Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake. Alright, so I'm going to initially start off with swatching these. I'll start off with Freddy and then we'll move over to Jason. Oh, how am I going to do this? Alright, so I'm going to go top to bottom. Alright. So this one is Incinerator. This one is Elm Street, which I actually like. Ooh, it turned out more blue. I don't mind the color though. It's a little bit powdery. This one is Bloodbath. This one is Burned Alive. Don't Fall Asleep. Slash. Why do they have two grays? I don't understand. Sweet Dreams, which you can't see. And then Dream Realm. Alright, so that is what all of the shades inside the Freddy Krueger palette look like. I'm going to now swatch the Jason palette. This first shade is Crystal Lake. Then we have Voorhees. Then we have Immortal. Then we have Summer Camp, which is chunky, but again, I feel like this one is more of like a shimmery shade, so that could be why it's chunky. This one is also a slight bit chunky. So the two greens are more shimmery and they're a little chunky. I am surprised though that this white is actually appearing, because usually when I get palettes like these, the whites don't show up. Then again, I actually think that might be a shimmer, so that might be why too. Counselor, which you can't see, but it's like a peach shade. Doesn't show up very well. This next one is Then they have They Were Warned. Oh, I'm running out of space. Then the last one is Jason Lives. So this is what all 16 of the shades, which is a combination of both the palettes. This first one here up to the blue being from the Freddy Krueger, and then these last ones to the very end, which I do have one on my elbow as well. Very close. right there. Wait. No, I lied. Right there is the shades from the Jason Voorhees palette. Now, I'm not going to do brush swatches because I'm actually going to, like I said before, create 2 different eye looks. So I've already prepped my face. I've done everything that I normally do. So over here, we're going to have some Jason, and over here, we are going to have some Freddy. I'm going to start off with this side, which will be my Jason side. So I have my mirror right here. I think I'm going to start off with Jason Lives, which is just this shade here. It's a base color. So I'm going to take the Morphe B81. Yeah, we're on the right side. I've really been liking this brush. I think it's because it's soft and nice. But the video probably isn't up yet because I don't really... I did a Morphe haul and I bought one of these from it, and it was the first time I've ever purchased from Morphe. This video will be up before that video because I'm really excited to get this one out, but I will go through and you'll see that brush. Or that. Do you see that drawer? It's bugging me. Oh well, it's gonna live there. Alright, so now I'm gonna go into... I think I'm gonna go... I want to go into Counselor. I'm going to go into Counselor. Or no, wait. Because I want to do one of these shimmery shades. So I think I'm going to go into this one, which is They Were Warned. And I'm going to put that on the outside of the eye. And I'm going to take the B80 to do that. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean They Were Warned. I mean the that shade. It's a pretty shade. It's like a pinky shade. I find that the pigment on these isn't too bad. Alright, so I'm having a little bit of issue getting this to stay in like the outer corner of my eye for some reason. I don't understand what's going on there. Alright, so this is what I have so far, and I find that the shade isn't really too bad. I did have a little bit of issues blending it into this crease here, but after I then decided to take the B42 brush and just like stab it in there and tell it to stay. And it seems that that was the key. It stayed. So I like that shade. It's very pretty. Now I'm also going to go into Counselor, which is this shade up here, and I'm just gonna blend out the outer edges up here just so that it has a little bit more color to it. Not gonna take it all the way up though, because I don't want it all the way up. Now I'm gonna do kind of like an unconventional eye look, if that's okay with you. So I'm now going to go into Immortal, which is this purple shade here. And I'm going to put it on like pretty much the first 2/3 of the eye. And then I'm going to probably go into Summer Camp, which is this lighter green. Pop it on the inner or pop it on the first third, and then put Immortal here. And then maybe I'll do Crystal Lake on the bottom. No, I'll do Summer Camp on the bottom. I'm going to go into Immortal first with a brush to see if, before I decide that I need to use my finger or anything. So the pigmentation is kind of what I expected. It's not the greatest. I am able to get it on the lid without using my finger, but I am going to blend it a little because I have hooded eyes. So I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit deeper. Alright, that did nothing. So, no, finger did not help. So this is what I have going so far, and that's actually not too bad. It's after about 4 or 5 coats, though, of really packing it in. Alright, I'm finding that this isn't... It's not going on quite as nice as I would like it to, but you know what? We're going to live with it. And then I actually ended up going to about half because I want to have a little bit of area where it can fade nicely, like for them to mix. together. Now I'm going to go into Summer Camp. The last shade that I went into was Voorhees, in case I forgot to mention it. So now I'm going to go into Summer Camp, which is this green shade. All right. So this is the eye look that I have come up with this palette. I don't hate it. I feel like the blending on these were like between shadows there was a little bit of inconsistency. They weren't all like amazing, but they weren't all bad either. I used this shade here, the in the outside of in the crease of my eye, and I found that I did have a little bit of issue blending with it, but nothing too bad. I should say that it blended out nicely, but I was having a little bit of patching issues is what I should say. But it wasn't anything that I couldn't fix with just, you know, pressing it in and making it work. So, and then the shade Counselor, I feel like blended nicely. I did only use it though on the outside of this pinky shade, but it blended nicely. And then when I put Jason Lives again over that, I feel like everything just kind of melded together and became this beautiful ombre on the outside of my eye. Now, using the shade Voorhees, I did have a little bit of issues getting it to actually apply to the lid. It's very difficult to use. I don't know if it's because it's just a firmer shadow, but even like with a finger swatch, it's not the greatest. But with a little bit of work and a little bit of effort behind it, you can get it to work. It's not too difficult. It's just like having to apply 6 coats is how you get it to work. So there's that. And then this shade here, Summer Camp, applied nicely. I was expecting kind of the same results that I got with Voorhees, so I kind of went in a little heavy with the brush to kind of get it to work, but I didn't need to because then I had too much going out. And then the shade Immortal, I feel like is a little bit dusty. It didn't show up as vibrant. I do have it on the inner corner, but it's not very vibrant. And so I feel like though I did put a little bit did get on this green and it did go over it. So if you were using it to kind of be a transformative shade, then I feel like that would work out just fine. So my final thoughts on this palette itself is that I like it. I think that my favorite shades though are probably this down. I feel like these are beautiful together. I feel like this one is a little bit too powdery, and then this, well, I should say these two are a little bit too powdery, and that this one here was a little difficult to use. Now I didn't use this Crystal Lake shade, so in the future I will have to use that and see how it performs. I feel like you could get at least 2 different eye looks. You could get a more neutral look, and then you could have a little bit more of a daring look as well if you wanted to incorporate these shades up here. So this is a palette that somebody who is more of a neutrals person or more of like an everyday look could get an everyday look out of here and could carry this with them, I guess. Because the packaging is actually really sturdy and heavy, and like I said in the other video, this is all embossed. I think that this would be okay and pretty, you know, durable, I guess is what I'm looking for. And yeah, I like this palette, and even if I didn't like this palette, I'm still keeping it. So moving on now, I've cleaned the brushes. I'm going to be doing the Freddy one. Okay, this one's a little scary because these are darker colors and I have to come up with an eye look with these. First, I'm going to start off with Sweet Dreams, and I'm just going to pop that all over the lid. I don't really have too many choices here, so I'm going to take Don't Fall Asleep because this is the lightest color that I have, and I'm going to create that and put that in my crease. This is the general shape that I have going on currently. And I'm having issues because I really don't have any lighter transition shades, which is a huge drawback. I'm going to point this out really quick. I do not like how they have this lighter shade here and this darker shade right under it, because I've almost gone into this deeper shade quite a few times. I feel like if they were going to have this deeper shade here, they should have put like something or put them in different areas. That way you don't accidentally, while you're blending, just pop it into this one instead of this one and then screw your entire eye look up. Also, I am not really impressed with the color selection on this one. I'm going to go into this Bloodbath, and I'm actually going to pop it and try to blend it a little bit above my crease, or like more into my crease to put a little bit red here, but I'm not going to bring it down on the lid because I actually think that I'm going to go use this green here because I really do like this green. Mix those two together. I kind of like that. Alright, so I might go in and mix these two together to put on the front, oh, wrong eye, on the front of my eye, so we'll see. Right off the bat, a lot of kick up. It does come off. So this is what we have so far. Not bad, not the greatest. I don't have a ton to work with. I'm actually going to go back into Sweet Dreams and try to blend this outside out just a little bit more. But I'm not finding that these are having too much of a patching issue. I found that the red was a little bit patchy in trying to get it in this part here, but the gray is nice. It's intense, so take it slow if you're not one of those people who is too comfortable with deeper colors. It does build, and you can use a lighter hand and get a lighter look. Now I'm going to go into Elm Street, which is this shade here. And actually, I think I'm going to do Elm Street. Dang it. I kind of like those two shades together. You know what? I'm going to put Elm Street on the first half. Kind of going to do the same eye look that I did over here, except different. No, it's the same. It's just different shadows. Alright, so I'm going to take the Chica Hodu brush and go into this. Oh, we have a lot of powder and a lot of kick up. Can you see in there? Alright. I'm going to not. I'm noticing right away that this applies very, very light, but it builds really easy. I like that shade. I'm actually going to take that shade and I'm also going to put it on the front of the eye. Oh. Oopsie. I think I'm just going to do this incinerator on the inner corner, and I'm going to mix these two shades. So I'm going to mix Burned Alive and Dream Realm together because I mixed it on the back of my hand and it does come up. I did it very lightly just because I didn't want to have to keep sticking my fingers in both of them. But it comes out with this almost purpley shade. So I'm going to go into, I'll go into Dream Realm first because it is the blue shade at the bottom and it's deeper. I'm going to take it on this pencil brush. That way I can have a little bit more control. I'm having issues with this shade kind of not being consistent. It wants to like skip over in certain areas, like in lines that I have on my eyelid. It's not wanting to take. It's like leaving like naked spots in the areas where I have lines. So I don't like that. All right, so now I'm going to go into the Burned Alive shade, and it is more of a foiled shadow, so it should cover it nicely to create that purpley shade that I am wanting. I feel like it kind of did what I wanted it to do. It does have more of a deeper tone to it, but it just didn't turn out what I wanted. So I'm just going to go in Incinerator. I'm going to put it on my finger, and I'm just going to pop it in. Screw it. We're going to go with silver in the front now. We have 3 shadows on the front of our eye. It's going to be a hot mess, but guess what? I fortunately have no plans with my life today, so I'm going to do it this way. All right, now I'm gonna go back into the Elm Street shade, which is the green shade, and I'm just gonna try and deepen this up a little bit. I might have to go into Slash as well. And I feel like we lost all that red too. I didn't have too much fallout, but the problem that I had is that because I used the silver on my finger, I got a little bit on the under eye further down than I wanted to. So we just go and clean it all up. So this is the final look that I have come up with this one. And I don't mind it. I do find that the red is one of those shades that kind of just gets blended away, even if I had to go back in again after I had done all of it, and kind of just add a little bit more red to the crease, because it either fades too quickly or it just blends away when you're blending it. It just won't stay. I also found that I did not like so out of here, I thought that this shade was the most unique, which is the shade Elm Street, and I found that it's pretty, but it is also a lot lighter on the lid, and it doesn't build to quite this deep of a shade, if that makes sense. Like or it doesn't get any deeper. You know how like you could put red on red on red and it'll get a little deeper? This one is just like what you get the first time is what you're gonna get. It doesn't really build, but it's not like it needs building because it doesn't apply like completely. It's just for some reason it's a lot lighter than it appears in the pan for some reason. Like I said, the red one just blends away, which kind of made me mad. This silver is nice. It did cover up kind of the mess that I made when I mixed these two together, and it didn't leave it like really chunky. Like I think it was what was it that I was using? There was another palette that I was playing with, and I put it on my eyes, and for some reason, it was the Mulan palette, which I may have put out already. I'm not sure. I think I did. But in that palette, it was like I put one of the shades over it, and it chunked, and then I tried to foil the shade to fix it, and it just chunked again, and it was like just chunky mess. I didn't like it. This didn't do it. I like that shade. This shade here, the Burned Alive shade, is pretty. I feel like it does show up rather nicely. It covered up the blue rather quickly. I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting it to be more of a light hand. I mean, you can see that it's intense when it comes to like the way that it decides to show itself at the party. This blue, I was really excited for this blue, but this blue, for some reason, like, it's patchy, and it sticks to all the lines. Like, can you see, even there, you can see in the lines in my hands that it's not really, like, fully covering up. Like, it's kind of gliding over it and not going into it, and it's not a smooth application by any means. And other than that, I feel like the rest of the shades that I used blended pretty nicely. I didn't have too many issues. The only thing that I do not like about this palette is that there's not a lot you can do. There's not a lot of lighter shades or transition shades. I feel like you are going to get a darker look every time, which if that is your thing, like, that's fine. It's not that I don't think that darker looks aren't wearable or for everyday, but what I'm saying is that there's just not enough here for me to say, okay, well, I can get a day look and a night look. I feel like it's just everything you come up with, there's not too much. I mean, if you add these two together, you're going to end up with Christmas, which, yeah, I get it. Freddy sure is green and red striped, but I just feel like they could have done a little bit more. They should have gotten rid of this shade here, this Slash shade, and just kept Don't Fall Asleep and put something completely different in here. Maybe because you have these shades here, maybe put not even a black. I don't feel like a black would have been beneficial because we already have this one, but maybe, I don't want to say a brown either. Maybe like a berry shade. That would have been good. Like a deep purple, or not even like a deep purple, but more like a purple like this where it's more like a fuchsia berry shade. This is the shade Bad to the Berry, I think. No, Boysenberry. From the Tutti Fruity Razzle Dazzle palette. If they had put like a berry shade, even maybe a little bit deeper than that, but matte, not shimmer, matte, I think that would have been perfect. It would have given you something to kind of use as an outer color and then be able to deepen it down, and you could come up with probably, in my opinion, a really great eye look with this palette. So that's my only qualm as far as the shadows go. I do like the concept of this, the fact that they like magnetize together and that they're kind of like a pair. I do like that, and that they open, you know, opposites. So they kind of are peas in a pod kind of thing. So I do like that. Other than that, I mean, I think it was okay. Here, let me put some mascara on. I hate when I do that. Don't you hate when you accidentally like go to put the wand in and then you stab it in the wrong spot? Then you end up with this chunk of mascara on your hand. So this is what I have come up with between the two. I was trying to more or less use as many shades as I could. So we have Freddy over here and Jason over here. How did we do? I think I like the Jason palette more. I do. But then again, it does have more of my kind of shades with these pinkier shades. So maybe that's why. I really do think that I don't hate this eye look over here. I really do like this eye look over here. That's not the issue. Like I said, I just wish that they had more of a, if they had a purple in there, that would have been perfect, I feel like. I feel like purple would have made me happy. Purple always makes me happy, though, in eyeshadow palettes. So, yeah. My final thoughts on these are that they're good. They're cute concept. They're $16 full price. I got these for $13 each, so they're not horribly priced. I feel like you only get 8 shades in here, though, so that's kind of slightly disappointing, considering that in other palettes that they have that are a little bit cheaper, they come with more shade selection, but I get you're paying for the name. The shadows aren't bad. They're kind of just average. They're the same as most of the palettes that you're going to get from Hot Topic. They're not, they're hits and misses. They're not outstanding and buttery smooth and, you know, applies like they're actually a cream product, but they're not, you know, but they do the job that they're intended to do. They're not horrible. If you're willing to work with it, you can, and you can get some pretty decent eye looks, in my opinion. So I say if these were something you were interested in, go for it. They're not too bad. If I had to pick one over the other, I definitely pick the Jason one. But I think this eye look turned out really cute, so that could be why. Hey, I got pink on my pink side. Anyways, so yes, that is all I have to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you come back for more. I love you all, you beautiful unicorns. Bye. I'm wondering if everyone in this household is getting sick of seeing me with 2 separate eyeballs. I think it might be a new thing of mine. I'm just going to go out into the world like this. Why not? It's going to be fun.